Hello everyone, today we're going to be reviewing the debut album from Oliver Tree titled Ugly is Beautiful. My name is Corey Schmidt and welcome to Stereospace. Alright, so Oliver Tree is a vocalist, producer, and crazy wacky performer, born and raised in Santa Cruz. He has released 2 EPs and a handful of different singles starting all the way back in 2016 that led up to this debut album. And over the years he has become known for his unique blend of acoustic and electronic styles of music, all sewn together by his own signature vocal style that really just pairs it all together and make it sound like his own sound. And so this is his debut album. It was dropped just last Friday, so let's dive into it. Alright, so we're starting off with the first song on the album called Me, Myself, and I. It's just a pretty ordinary Oliver Tree song, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's his classic style of acoustic and electronic music, and this with his own vocals and his unique style of lyricism right down the middle just to connect it all together. The song has, I think, a little bit more potential than it capitalized on because the instruments are really cool in the song, but the vocals are very distorted and sort of buried in the mix with the rest of the stuff, and that makes it really hard to A, hear what he's saying, and B, understand what he's saying. And so that makes it really hard to connect as a listener to the song because I don't really know what he's talking about. If I did want to sit down and read through all the lyrics and memorize them and figure out what he's saying and analyze it, I could, but I'm not that dedicated, so I just listened to it a couple times and thought that it was really hard to understand. I really only remember like maybe a couple of the words that he even said because it was just hard to hear it, and then even if I did hear it, it was hard to remember it, so those were the only things I didn't really like about the song, and there's a lot more potential, I think, because the instruments are really cool. Some of the riffs, the different beats and stuff were really awesome. So those parts I really liked about the song, but just the vocals really brought it down a little bit in terms of being able to connect as a listener. Alright, song number 2 is 1993, featuring Little Ricky ZR3, and this is a really awesome song. It's one of my favorites now for Oliver Tree as well. And it's a really cool riff that starts out the song, and there's some really great riffs throughout the entire song. And it ends with a really cool trap style that really shows off the skills that Oliver Tree, as well as Little Ricky ZR3, who it's featuring, their skills as producers and as just beat makers, like, I don't know if that's a term, but like, you know, music creators as well, just being able to have different styles throughout the song. It really makes the song just go somewhere, and it adds more depth to it and makes it actually worthwhile to listen all the way through too, which is really cool, and it's just a really good song as well. Alright, song number 3 is called Cash Machine. This is one of the songs that was released as a teaser before the album actually came out. It's another classic example of his signature style with the acoustic and electronic styles blended together. This one has a lot more acoustic than electronic, which I think is cool because he has other songs that are a lot more electronic than acoustic. So it's a good pairing, and it balances itself out throughout the album, which is cool. And the message of the song is really cool. It's it's basically just about, you know, if you're world famous, you go on tours all around the world, you see the globe, and, you know, become a celebrity and all this stuff, you can still survive and thrive in life just with the essentials. You don't have to surround yourself with like materialistic desires and things like that. When is it enough? How bad do you need that stuff? What's it all for? Why does it seem like it's still more? I think it's really cool that he released a song like that, since he is someone who has gone on world tours and become famous and has over 4 million monthly listeners on Spotify, so the fact that he was able to release a song like that is really cool. I'm hoping that he actually stands by that message in his life, just because I know, being a famous person and being a musician as well with a lot of listeners, it's really hard to sort of stay humble and keep your humility. I know that he's released like music videos and done tours and stuff like that were very extravagant and expensive, so I'm hoping that he does actually stick by that message that he says in the song, and he isn't hypocritical towards it, but I'm thinking that he probably does because, at least for me, if I was releasing a song, I would want it to be a message that I actually stand by. So hopefully that is the case for him as well. But overall, it's just a really, really cool song. Alright, fourth song is called Let Me Down. This is another song that was released before the album came out. It's another really, really cool, just classic Oliver Tree song that this is something I've been going to be saying throughout the review, but it's just his classic style. And it's also a really cool message. According to his Spotify storyline for the song, he said that he wrote it after having to postpone his album due to the coronavirus. And he just said that he really felt like he had let his fans down by hyping up the album and then having to delay it. But that's really cool that he released a song like this as well, because it shows that he is confident in himself enough to not be ashamed that he is apologizing for something that was totally beyond his control. Because I know some artists would be ashamed to reveal that they were apologizing for something that wasn't even in their control. But the fact that he was doing that and wanted to make it right with his fans is really cool. And just in general, it's a really, really cool song as well. Alright, I'm jumping ahead 2 songs, but this is song number 6. It's called Bury Me Alive. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite Oliver Tree song. It was also a song released before the album came out. It's a really great song. It's my favorite type of rap and hip-hop as well, which is just the sort of hard-hitting, in-your-face kind that makes you just want to get up and headbang and just start dancing and stuff like that. And he pulls it off super well in this song. It's like, I don't think I could possibly listen to the song all the way through and sit still, because it's so like out there in your face. You're like, oh, I gotta get up, I gotta punch something, you know. It's such a cool song, and he really pulls off that style really, really well. And yeah, it's a great song, and I'm happy that he released it, because he had a lot of songs that were like almost reaching that point where I can definitely like bop my head to it, but it's not like in your face as much. But this one finally was, and I was so happy that he added it. And it's a perfect addition to put into his discography as well. Alright, the 7th song is called Alien Boy, and I can't decide exactly how I feel about this song. It's a great song, and I love listening to it, but he's put it out on the last 3 releases that he's done, in 2018, 2019, and now this year in 2020. And it's a great song, don't get me wrong. I love listening to it. It's a great song for while you're driving, just blasting with the windows down. It's a super good song, but it sort of feels like he's just trying to milk every last drop out of this song, and it seems to be running dry a little bit, because I'm just not excited about this song anymore when it's on yet another release after 2 full years of having it out. And I think he just needs to sort of move on with this song and just call it a day, if that makes sense, because it's a great song again, but I just don't think it needs to be on one EP and then the next EP and then the debut album. It's a good song, don't make me wrong. Again, it's hard to explain this exactly how I mean, but it's a great song, but in terms of it being released 3 separate times, it's not that great. So I just don't think it needs to be there so many times. I think if he just released it on the first EP and that was it, or if he released it on the second one and the album, I'd be okay with that, but it was just a couple too many times having to listen to the song. But once again, it's still a really, really cool song. Alright, jumping ahead 3 songs now to number 10, and this song is called Waste My Time. This is a slightly different feel and style than the rest of the album, which I was very happy about, because I was happy that he was finally able to do something slightly different, because the album was getting just a little bit repetitive through 9 other songs that are all pretty similar. But I'm happy that he changed it up a little bit. There's a really cool duet in the verses with the vocals, and I think it's the bass. It could be the guitar, but it's a bass or guitar. And it's just sort of like the melody in the bass or slash guitar is the same as the way that he's singing, which is really, really cool, and it definitely catches your attention.
Why my whole life people seem so alike. They don't mind, they fit in, don't stick out. That's bullshit. I won't wait my whole life watching people divide. Change your mind.
And otherwise it's just a regular Oliver Tree song, but I like that they added that touch to just sort of mix it up a little bit and keep your attention going throughout the album. Alright, song number 13 now is called Introspective, and this one was released on his EP last year as well. And this is probably the only song on the album that I don't think I'm going to download or listen to again, just because it's a very, very repetitive song. The main style of vocals that's in the verses makes up about I don't know, 60 to 70% of the song, and it's very annoying to me. It's very just sort of gets stuck in your head and you don't even know what he's talking about, but he's just eh.
There it was so introspective. I don't need things to get messy. This is overcomplicated. I guess I miscalculated.
And that just sort of is annoying for me. I don't like that style. I'm okay with him doing it a little bit because then it sort of catches your attention, but doing it for a majority of the song just gets sort of tiring. That's just the only song that I didn't really like on the album, but otherwise it was pretty good. Alright, so this is the last song. This is the 14th song. It's called I'm Gone, and this is basically his farewell song because he actually announced that this is his debut album, but it's also his last album. The music industry, he thinks, has just sort of gotten to him too much and sort of wrung him dry, and he just wants to do something else now. So this is his song just saying it's been fun, it's been crazy, there's been some ups and downs, but it's all over, and thank you guys for listening, basically, is the message of the song. And it's definitely sad as a listener to know that this is the end, especially because after 4 years of him releasing music, we finally get a full album that, I can get on vinyl or cassettes and play in my car on a CD or something like that, and it's already over, which kind of sucks, but I totally understand because as a musician myself, I know that the music industry is very, very grueling and very intense and stressful, and it definitely gets to people. And there's, countless Netflix documentaries out there about different musicians that couldn't take it anymore. So I'm glad that he is able to step in and stop himself before it's too late. And it's kind of exciting for him to do something else. I have no idea what he's going to do. He's a very wild and out there kind of guy, so he can really do anything he wants. And, as a fan more so than a listener, I am excited to see what he does next. And even though it is sort of cut short, it feels like as a listener, it's still really great that he's able to step in and do something else, so I'm here for it either way, and the album itself was really, really great. Alright, so that's the album. I'd say overall, it was a really, really good album. A lot of the songs were really similar, because he sort of has his signature style and sticks to it 99% of the time, but I wouldn't say that I necessarily got tired of that style through the 37 minutes. Just because I love that style and it's very unique, and so because it's unique enough, my brain doesn't get tired of listening to it, which is cool. If he was going to be releasing more music, I would hope that he tries something else, just because I know that this style would get a little bit boring after a little while, but since this is the end for him, I'm here for it. I don't mind that it's all the same style because it didn't get tiring, because it would have if he had kept going, but since he's done, I'm happy with it, so I'm not really tired of it. And I love the overall message of the album, which is just sort of to enjoy yourself and your life and just be happy with the things that you can't control and make better the things that you can in life and stuff like that. I think that's a great message. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Overall, I'm going to give the album a 9 out of 10. I'm not sure what my comments are going to be on this album. Good luck in the future, and I hope you continue to surprise people of the world with your crazy personality. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about the album and Oliver Tree as a whole. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you sticked around for the whole thing as well. And sorry if I was talking really fast in this video, but I have to get ready for work in about 4 minutes, so I was just trying to get it all done. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments or in person if you know me, any albums or artists that I should review or look at or listen to or anything like that. And make sure to check out my semi-weekly series called Check It Out, where I talk about an artist that isn't super well known that I think you should listen to. So definitely check all that stuff out, and make sure to subscribe as well if you liked it. And that's all I got to say about the album. So, my name is Corey Schmidt, and thank you so much for watching Stereospace.